Hi everyone, this is Mark Foss Brown with the Foss Home Team at Keller Williams Realty. We're the #1 real estate office in all of Central Virginia. We have been for some time, and that responsibility carries with it responsibility to keep you informed on the market or in the market. And in accordance with that, we present our monthly Market Mojo report. Hopefully you made it through tax day and the tax man. And since we are through the first quarter of the year, thought that would be a great time for us to kind of take a step back and look at where we are, where we have come to in the marketplace, and maybe even take a peek at where we're going. And in order to do that, we enlist the help of our research partners at Keeping Current Matters, particularly when it comes to the three key factors in the real estate market. And of course, that is supply, demand, and interest rate. And starting with interest rate, the Keeping Current Matters folks informed us in a webinar this week that the consensus in the mortgage business, and that includes Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, the Mortgage Bankers Association, and of course our favorite, the National Association of Realtors, they all think that interest rates are going to go up. But you know, it's interesting because the great thing about predicting rising interest rates is that if they don't go up or even go down, buyers and sellers are not upset that people predicted that they went up. They're happy because that means the market will continue to be strong. We've been hearing about rising rates for 5 years now. It's yet to happen. And since the highest predicted rate rise from today, going forward 12 months, in other words, going into the second quarter of 2016, is about 5%, which is only roughly 100 basis points from where we are now, and frankly, historically speaking, is still a really good rate. But what about supply and demand? Well, the marketplace through the first quarter has been, as my former colleague Dan Patrick liked to say, en fuego. And there's no there's no apparent signs of a slowdown. So starting with supply, and what we did is we take March 14 over versus 15, as well as year to date through March 2015 versus 2014. And the good news is, even though supply is down, that's actually good news, particularly for sellers, but as houses continue to pour into the marketplace as they do at this time of year, and they are, it's nice to know that there are buyers out there, that there's demand out there to take that inventory off the market. It's down a little bit over 8% overall in the marketplace, even though we are seeing an increase in listing inventory now. Some of that is due to the weather issues in February in particular, where there was some slowdown in activity on all sides of the marketplace. What about price? Well, actually, we'll start with closed transactions. And March over March, closed transactions were up 27%. Which is obviously a significant number. Now, some of that is due to the February weather effect, but still, it's an indication that when houses are priced and prepared properly, as we do with our 60-day home selling system, and you know that system, it's designed to get you up to 18% more money for your home than traditional realtors are able to get their clients. As you prepare your home properly, there is going to be demand for your home. And what about year over year? Well, year over year, of course, that's the February numbers are neutralized with a 3-month. When we look at it from 3-month from the quarter standing, it still is up almost half of that number, 14%, or actually more than half of that number. At 14%. So obviously the market is strong, and when you have that kind of activity in the marketplace, well, what happens? The price goes up month over month. March 14 versus 15, it was 7%, and year to date, the first quarter of 14 versus the first quarter of this year. This year we are up about 4%. and that actually put the average price here at $236, and through the first quarter the price is $227. So the price is actually the best indicator of where the spike was in terms of March, because of the pent-up demand from a slow weather affected February. Turning to the luxury market, which we like to keep an eye on, the numbers there are interesting as well. And we start with the definition of our luxury market is 750,000 price range and up, which obviously is rarefied air for a lot of people, but here's what's going on in that market. Actually, the supply of luxury homes is up 11%, which would seem to indicate that there might be a slowdown in that activity. Well, actually what happened is the closed units, March over March, closed units were up 80%. That's a huge number. And even the first quarter numbers, 49% increase in actual closed transactions. But prices dropped. Now there was some aberration in pricing from last year, so that, there was a spike in the market last year. The average price in the marketplace through the first quarter last year was like $1.4 million, which is really obviously high for this marketplace. It's come down to more normal levels. We're at the 990,000 is the average luxury home selling, again above 750,000. So those are the numbers in the luxury market. There is activity in that market. Clearly, you can tell by the closed transactions. Don't forget about our 60-day home selling system, which in a lot of situations now is really a 30-day home selling system. For example, a house in Sleepy Hollow that we listed just last week and held it open last weekend, sold right away, 3 days on the market. Because those folks did everything we asked them to do. They followed our system to the letter and got a great result. This weekend, the 19th, I guess it is, Sunday the 19th, from 2 to 4, 8114 Michael Road. Wonderful property with an 1.3 acre lot in the Douglas Freeman area. In fact, right across Three Chopped, back in that neighborhood. A very unique property. It's a brick colonial with a detached brick front garage. Don't miss it. We'll be there from 2 to 4. We hope to see you there, and we hope to see you the beginning of May for the next edition of Foss Talk. And this is Mark Foss Brown with the Foss Home Team at Keller Williams Realty. We are lighting your way home.